There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. Some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because Super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 6 of the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 Series, coming to you tonight from Road Atlanta as the boys roll out for 20-minute qualifying session. I'm John Van Ree. In the box with me tonight, I have Mark Duggan. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, very good, John. Good to be at Road Atlanta. Great track for the V8s. Looking forward to some good racing.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of hard-fought racing around this place. Speaking of the track, we might jump straight onto the track map while these boys get themselves sorted on their outlaps. So we start down on the start-finish straight through the big sweeper uphill through turn 1, through the sweeper over the blind crest on turn 2 into turn 3, where we then sweep down the hill through 4, through the S's, into the uprising turn 5, and then we sweep down up to turn 6, up into what's known as the tight turn at turn 7. Few overtaking opportunities going into there, and you've definitely got to control the power coming out of turn 7 and tuck yourself into the draft from 7, 8, 9 into the famous 10A, 10B complex. Then we come up over the rise under the Fox Bridge at 11, and then the fast flowing sweeper down onto the start finish line in turn 12. So it's only 4 kilometres long, this track, with 12 turns, but it provides some fantastic racing for the V8s.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, John. It's a great fun track to drive, but I've never had a result here. I've ended up in the wall every time I've raced here, I think, but I'm sure these boys will really turn it on for us tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Expecting some big things from these lads. As we come close to start, see a few of them. James Scotty are already on his flyer. So already looking quite fast as he works his way around the circuit. Already setting a purple sector time for sector 2. And speaking of James Scott, one of the big name drivers we've got in the series, we want to have a quick look at the championship while we're sitting here. So after 5 rounds, we've got Brenton Hobson on pole with James Chastaneuf close behind in second, Jordan Ross rounding out our top 3. And then a really great result is Matt G Stewart sitting in 4th, Warboys in 5th, Jamie Dyke, Whiting, Kirby and Coleman rounding out the CC train in the bottom half of the top 10 with Ben Morris. Paul Young doing really well at 11th, Blake Delaney, Adam Briggs, and this name I cannot believe, already with 1,000 points to his total, Roy Clark in 14th.
Yeah, fabulous to see, and job well done, Roy. Yeah, he's obviously just trying to be out there and be as consistent as he can. He's doing a great job.
Of course, Roy having our cover photo tonight too, to be honest, if you didn't pick that one up in the lead into the show. As we just jump on here, a few times coming in, as you can see James Scott's heading back to the pits after this one, but he's had an absolute flyer on his first lap there with a 1:19.524. Dylan Rudd jumping up in there between him and Hobson, which is great to see. Logan Barnett in the top 5 as well, so we've already got some interesting looking results. Big shout out to Steve Murray in the chat, he's already joined us as well. And of course, if you're following us along on YouTube or Facebook, jump in the chat, say good day, let us know you're there and let us know who you're supporting, and we'll try and make sure we let you know how they're getting on.
If you let us know who you're supporting, we won't talk about them because we have a tendency to curse everybody we talk about.
And of course, James Scott, one of the big names that was in the Logitech G Pro Bathurst that was run on Sunday, which was a fairly epic event with a lot of fast drivers.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic event. There was certainly no short of action in that last 20 laps, and Probably a few boys missing tonight. They're probably a bit worn out from all the racing that's been going on lately.
27 incidents called into race control in the last hour. This gives you an idea how busy the boys were. And Shervo James in the chat as well. I'm sorry, Shervo, there's no cash here. But no, we'll keep an eye on Roy. Don't you worry about that.
We have cash for comment.
As the boys head out now for their second shot. So 5 minutes in the book already here. So that's not a super long lap time with the 119s. And got a few boys keep an eye on in the cams as well tonight as we're on the outlap here. We'll jump on. We've got our good old favourite Nathan Brown battling away. And Lake War Boys as well. So we'll make sure we jump on and give those guys a bit of a follow on throughout the night. Shervo James wanting you to say all the nicest things in the world you can say about Roy Clark. Mark?
Didn't I already say it? No, Roy's doing an absolutely fabulous job, as are all the Banner Alliance boys. Paul Young and James Chastanet, all doing really, really good job. So, you know, they're obviously working well as a team. Roy's really just focused on being consistent, and that's all you can ask for is, you know, if you can cut out the mistakes and be consistent, you'll make ground and you'll progress as a driver.
Yeah, I think he's definitely turned the corner. We can stick the camera on him and talk about him and he doesn't fall off the track. So, but early days, Shervo. We'll first keep an eye on how Roy travels tonight. Let's just jump back on with James Scott, who I think is on a flyer. And quite solid again. I think he just finished a quick lap. Didn't go any quicker. So we still have James Scott, Dylan Rudd, Brenton Hobson, Logan Barnett and Jordan Ross rounding out our top 5. Big shout out to Mary Partridge as well, so supporting Harrison and the WK&P boys. So H at the moment's in the pit, sitting back in 23rd, just coming out to do his next lap for qualifying. So War Boys has jumped himself up into 8th, so that's a bit of a move up the board as he's going a little bit quicker here.
Logan Barnett doing a good job in 4th place. Haven't seen Logan race with us for a few weeks, or maybe a bit longer, but good to see him here. Another one I'm happy to see back is Damien Johnson. He's been busy in life, I think, and it's good to see him cutting some laps at Road Atlanta.
Try it. Jump. That's not going to work for me. That's all right. Alt tab. I was going to try something that didn't work. We'll work on it next time. Sorry, Marcus is playing with some things. That's all right. We're back. Yeah, it's good to have Damien back. He's been one of the key drivers. It's been part of the series for the last couple of seasons. A regular SSR boy as well. And I think partnered Hobbo at Bathurst on the weekend. They showed quite a fair bit of pace as well there. As War Boys shows the way through turn 9 and 10. Sorry, through 10A and 10B, up over the hill. Let's just see if he goes a little bit quicker here. And does a 124, so it doesn't go any quicker than what he has. That's about 0.02 slower than his previous best. So we might just jump down, have a look. We've got Matty Whitaker coming around at the moment, sitting down in 12th spot. And Michael Whiting tucked up behind him. And Michael sitting in 10th spot at the moment. I do love that yellow livery on Matty Whitaker's car.
Yeah, great looking livery. Interesting, just noticing tonight the track temperature is up around 48 degrees, so it's a lot warmer than what the boys have been used to in past weeks. Yeah, the ambient temperature's around 25 and track temperature, yeah, 48 degrees.
Yeah, I'll just throw that one up there, yep. So, yeah, 25 degrees Celsius is the air temp, but very hot track at 48. A little bit of wind around as well, so 20 knots, or sorry, 20 kilometres an hour wind coming in from the, lost my direction on it. Not telling me what the direction is, but it's got about 21 kilometres of wind as well, so it's a little bit of a windy day as well. So it's going to be interesting for these boys. The admin boys are not going to make it easy for them.
No, because I'm pretty sure they've had cool tracks for the opening 5 weeks, so this will come a bit of a shock to the system.
It'd be good to see. As Nathan Brown just jumps above Roy Clark, moves himself up into 31st. Roy just jumps him, so a bit of battle between Roy and Nathan continuing on from last week. As we wind down now into the last 9.5 minutes of quali. And Matty Muscoot's dropped in as well. It's good to see Matty's dropped in. Yes. See how a few of these other boys go. The other one we've got racing tonight is Matt McMillan from WK&P. So Matty's coming out from Vets to have a bit of a run around with the East Coast lads.
Yeah, good to have Matty here. He's always welcome at the East Coast, and
James Scott and Roy Clark have just made contact. That was big. Let's go back, have a look at that one from the chopper. Just clipped him a little bit. There you go, Chevy Jones. Roy Clark already in the thick of the action. We'll wait and see if that gets called through, or whether it was an outlap.
Yeah, it was a bit odd, that one. It was Roy didn't do anything wrong there. He just held his line. I don't know if there was net code or James thought he'd cleared him, but anyway, it's they're both up and running, so they'll be able to get back to the pits and grab a new set of boots and get back out there.
Yeah. And got Hobbo in the black car tonight, running a different coloured livery than last week, just to keep us guessing.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Christian Smart as well. I'm used to seeing him in a different coloured car, but he's gone the lighter version. He's in the white car, so good to see Christian again. He had a good run with Blake at Bathurst on the weekend. They fought back hard all day and managed to finish inside the top 15, which was a great result considering how their race started.
Absolutely, considering the equipment failed, had no wheel and pedals at the start. Not the ideal start to have, and yeah, they chipped away all day to get themselves back up into 13th, which is a fair effort.
Yeah, it sure was in a field of that quality. It was, yeah, they just chipped away all day, as you said, stayed patient, and made running repairs on the car, and yeah, they just got back to the lead lap and looked quite at home once they were there.
Absolutely. As we've got Christian Smart about to come across the line here, and so what sort of time he sets. And he's just gone up the leaderboard with a 120, putting himself in 7th position. It's a fair crack of the gun.
Yeah, that's a great lap from Christian.
Absolutely. Dylan Rudd still in 2nd spot, doing relatively well to be sitting in there.
Yeah, Dylan's just under a 10th behind James Scott at the moment, so that's a pretty competitive times. And yeah, we've only got 5.5 minutes to run, so boys only probably got time for one outlap and one hot lap.
Yeah, it's definitely ticking away. Remembering too that she stops dead in this series. I might just jump on with James Chastaneuf. And Maddie Parker cheering on the Nova boys in the chat as well.
Yeah, good evening to Matty. Good teammate.
As Dylan Rudd bouts to head out. James Scott on track at the moment as well. I think this is a quick lap. Did go purple in sector 2. Oh, he's on his way back in. Dylan Rudd now. Let's see what he can do. I believe it's a penalty coming in for somebody for an unsafe exit from pit lane with someone on a flyer. I think it might have been Matt McMillan, I think. So continuing on here, Dylan Rudd on an outlap. The man sitting in second spot. Let's see if he can put the pressure to James Scott. As might jump on the gyro. So this back straight away with an elevation change and slight angle changes is a little bit deceptive. You really need to be tucked in behind someone here to get the best of slipstream. Then coming into turn 10A and 10B, heavy braking point. We'll see a lot of guys try and send it up the inside coming down into that corner tonight, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big long draft. It's a long back straight. And, yeah, good opportunity to pass there.
Hey, let's jump on board here with Dylan Rudd. See what he can do. Down through the S's, using all the curb. Coming up, got plenty of room to run out wide here. You've got to be careful accelerating over the bump there. Can lose traction as the suspension changes. Back it off through here, bit of a squirt into 7. Now slower corner, really pull it back. Good lap so far. He's got 2 green times in the first 2 sectors.
Yeah, you might be able to pull a toe here if you can. Oh no, they're slowing down, getting out of his way.
Definitely looking good. Coming down into 10A. Looking very good from Dylan. Nicely controls it. Over turn 11 into turn 12 now. Uses the curb a little bit, bounces it. And goes a 1:19.53. 0.012 from James Scott. That's a fair effort.
That was a beautiful clean lap.
Oh, James in another incident. Not sure who that was he was with, but he's had another tap into somebody coming out of turn 7. Looked like it was another one of the Banter Alliance boys.
James Chastaneuf, I think.
Yeah, Chassis parked on the side of the road there. Might see him get Supercheap Auto replay. Have a bit of a look here. Chassis loses it coming out of 7, and unfortunately James in the wrong spot at the wrong time. That is not good. We should see what happens there for James. So I think he could be looking towards a pit lane penalty as well, I think, for the start. We'll wait and see what race control. Seb's the man making the big decisions. But we can see now, looking at that, I don't think James Scott's going to get back in time. Chasty's got it rolling. Dylan Rudd. Clock's only got a minute left. I think Dylan's on an end lap. Bobo's the man flying down the back straight at the moment. Let's see what Hobo can do. Coming down into 10.8. There we go, Paul Warwick and Matt McMillan. There's already 2 pit lane starts. There's Hobbo's got 3 purple sectors. And Hobbo doesn't go any quicker. We come down into the last 15 seconds. Warboys, I don't think he's going to have enough time to get back. Big shout out to Sean McNamara in the chat as well. Cheering on the 9-5 SimSport boys tonight. And the flag is out now. Might have got the service set correct tonight, where they're not going to kill the clock at 20. So, Warboy's on a bit of a flyer. No, he's into the pits. And I think it was Dengate he might have been towing around. Dengate doesn't go any quicker, I don't think. Jumps up, stays 24th. So I think that's our grid set.
Christopher Island doing a good job there at the last minute, climbing half a dozen spots to get into P11.
Absolutely. We might quickly now jump in and have a look at the grid. See if it's going to pop up. So it's a few boys on track. I think Chris Smart, no. Thomas Freeman, no. Someone's still out there running. Schultz. Craig Schultz just jumped up a few spots. Chris Smart's on a bit of a flyer as well. No, he's heading to pits.
I think that's it for the runners on track.
I think that's it. So let's see. For the time to run down here. I think we're waiting for one more, I think. Oh, he's into the pits as well, so hasn't kicked over for some reason. Just try the grid, see if it comes up. No.
It's still a second on the clock.
Oh, there it is. Righto, let's jump to the grid. And on the grid, we have James Scott, Dylan Rudd, Jordan Ross from SSR with teammate Brenton Hobson alongside. Then we have our current champion, Adam Briggs, in 5th. Logan Barnett from Senate SimSports in 6th. Damien Johnson from SSR in 7th. Alongside him, we've got WK&P, Blake Warboys. Christian Smart from SSR in 9th. And rounding out top 10 is Cameron G. Jones from Century Motorsports. Chris Island from Senate SimSports is in 11th, with Banter Alliance's Paul Young in 12th. And then we roll over to Blake Delaney in 13th. Michael Whiting from Fishy Motorsports in 14th. 15th is Thomas Freeman. 16th is James Chastanoof. Matty Whitaker is 17. 18 is Craig Schultz. 19 is Paul Warwick from Fishy Motorsports. Troy Maguire from Fishy Motorsports is 20th. Michael Angus from Fishy's 21st. Ben Morris from Phase 4 is 22nd, with Dave Kirby from Fishy in 23. High Octane SimSports, Brady Baldwin is 24th. And then we roll over the page to Jamie Dyke from Fishy Motorsports. Jamie, a little bit further back than where I would have expected him. Harrison Dengate from WK&P in 26th. Luke Holland from SSR in 27. Matty Stewart is back in 28th, with Warren Davis and Banter Alliance in 29th. 30th is Jamie McKnight. Darren Shannon in 31st and Banter Alliance. Ash Barella from WK&P in 32. Better Racing WK&P, Nathan Brown in 33 in front of Roy Clark. So first points to Nathan. So Roy Clark in 34th from Banter Alliance. Matty McMillan from WK&P is in 35th. 36th is Fishy Motorsports, Dave Coleman. And then we have after that Matty Mascord. Sebastian is our race control, and Richard Barella is our safety car driver. We are not far away from going green here, Mark.
Yeah, good looking grid. Tough top 10, tough top 20, if I do say so myself. Difficult grid start for some of these guys towards the back, which is starting downhill. so it gets a little bit tricky off the line. But I'm sure these guys will fire it off pretty quickly. I wonder how nervous James Scott is with his start after the last few rounds we've had.
Yeah, I think he'll be a bit nervous here. He's been swamped the last few times. A little bit longer run into that first corner as well, and it's a corner where you can get past somebody around the outside in that early stages. I think he'll be a little bit nervous. And of course, we're back to the older format tonight of a 250k race, max fuel tank. It could possibly one stop or two stops. The boys will be playing the tyre strategy here. So it's going to be interesting to see how these boys run this one through. Don't underestimate the likes of Jamie McKnight further back in the pack. Know how to conserve fuel. As we're about to go racing here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're away. James Scott got off the line beautifully this time. No ifs about that one. As he moves to the outside to take the line. As we jump back a little bit, keep an eye on the back group. Looks like they're all going to get through turn 1 safely as well. As we now come into the tighter section. Looks like we're all fairly safe through. Jordan Ross in 3rd spot, looking quite comfortable. As we snake our way through the S's.
Just noticed, I'm sure I saw Blake Warboys in the pits there. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm sure I've seen him starting from pit lane.
Missed that one, not sure either. Whether there was a penalty, I'm not sure. Nothing came on our screens about that. So James Scott now, at the end of lap 1, is starting to extend himself a little bit from Jordan Ross. Sorry, from Dylan Rudd. He's extending from Jordan Ross. Just going to have a look where Warboys is. Warboys back in 34th at the moment. They definitely start a pit lane. That would be an interesting battle to look at. McKnight didn't start either, which is interesting. Not sure what's happened there. As we jump back up the front a little bit onto Adam Briggs. As Dave Coleman's had an incident, we might quickly go to the replay. McKnight jumped to the pits after the start, so not sure what happened there. Whether he's got equipment failure or not. As it looks like coming out of 10B, Dave Coleman's had a bit of a spin at the same time when Warboys was passing him. I know, big dive into 10A. Nicely with one of the Banter Alliance boys. Warboys lucky not to clip him, so a bit happening there.
Yeah, it was very lucky for Blake there not to get clipped. There would have been more bad luck. Apart from starting pit lane, it looked like he got a helping hand there.
Absolutely, he did. Yeah, Pete Kelleher in the comments saying Warboys got a pit lane penalty for qualifying breach.
That would have been frustrating for him because he did all right in qualifying. So he's got a tough night ahead of him, but Blake's well equipped to deal with it, and I'm sure he'll make his way through the field.
Yeah, already up to 29th. As we continue on here, Damien Johnstone looking quite clear, a little bit racy with Hobson. Hobson doing reasonably well under a little bit of pressure from Logan Barnett behind.
Yeah, Logan doing a great job. I haven't seen him with us, like I said earlier, for a while, but he's out there racing really strong. Qualified well.
Boys definitely settling into their pace here, settling into this race quite well. I've really not had too many events happen. Just quite unusual for these guys in the first couple of laps.
Yeah, it is unusual, and especially with the warmer track conditions. I did expect a few more things happening on track, but they've all controlled themselves really well, and Got a little kind of groups of 6, it seems, here and there, just scattered throughout the track now, all in their own race packs, and going to be some tough racing on this warm track.
Absolutely. It's Jamie Dyke here trying to hang on to the back of Michael Angus, his teammate. But Jamie's already up 6 spots, one of our biggest movers so far. As it looks like Matty Walker went off there, so I might just jump to a replay, see what happened to Matt Walker. Just clips a little bit of grass, letting a few boys through, that's all right. Nathan Brown, of course, another one who we regularly see do the same sort of thing. Out mowing some more lawn.
Very easy track to do that here. It's so bumpy around here, and you only got to be off line by a few centimetres, and it just kind of bumps you and drags you off track really quickly.
As Hobbo gets past Logan Barnett here. Sorry, Logan Barnett gets past Adam Briggs, sorry. Sorry, Briggs has joined this battle. I'll get it right in a minute. See how the curve...
Sorry, John,
yeah.
I was just thinking I'm a bit surprised to see Adam back here. I'm not sure whether he had a bad qualifying or got a bad jump, but he's well in this battle now, and going to find it tough to get past Logan. Logan's shown some good pace.
Yeah, there's plenty of pace being shown by Logan. I was going to say, Adam using all the curbs here, and you can see how it unsettles the car.
Christian Smart, Damien Johnson about to join this party as well, I think.
Definitely not far from it.
Not a fair fight with Logan against the 5 SSR boys here.
Of course, as we've been told, there's no team orders at SSR though.
No, and we've seen before how hard they race. They're not afraid to rub panels with each other, so yeah, there's definitely no team orders in that team.
James Chastaneef is in the pits, so I'm not sure what the story was there. Got a feeling smoking, so it was smoking, I think, coming in, so I'm not sure what the story was there, Steve. Just trying to go through my notes here to see if I can find something. I think he may have blown an engine just out of ability. Let's jump back to replay. No, he looks like it's running there.
Yeah, and I think he's just had a bad shift at turn 6. I think he's had a bad shift, and yeah,
there it is. There it is. Yep, turn 7, bang. Everyone's gone past him. That's very unlucky for him. He's been consistently running up the front half on the pointy end. So poor old Chasty, a little bit further back. Just got to check on this battle. He's looking a bit starting to really spice up. So poor old Logan now has Adam Briggs tucked right up behind him. If we turn around the other way, we've got Logan Barnett has Brenton Hobson right in front of him. So definitely in the middle of an SSR sandwich. And we can see that Ross, Rudd and Scott well up the road now.
Yeah, they've skipped away, and I see Damien Johnson got past Christian Smart. They've lost a bit of ground to this group, so I'm not sure if Christian made a mistake or... But Damien Johnson's past him now.
It's that one as well, but that's all right.
Logan definitely feeling the heat from Adam Briggs here. He's all tucked up under his back wing for the whole lap. It's Logan's got the benefit of the draft down the big long straight, so that's keeping him in touch with Brenton Hobson.
Yeah, absolutely working very hard at it. See, Johnson's dropped off this group a little bit now as well, so these boys are absolutely flying through here.
Not much between our front three either. With James Scott still out in front, but he's got a slender lead to Dylan Rudd, and Dylan's got about the same distance to Jordan Ross. So James has probably come back to the pack a little bit tonight compared to other weeks, where he's had quite a bit of pace in hand. So Dylan doing a great job to stay with him so far.
Absolutely, as we might just drop back, I think. I've lost my spot. I don't think Jamie dropped out at the start, Stephen. I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, we lost him very early on.
I know Jamie's been struggling with some hardware issues of late, so I'm not sure if he got on the grid and then had a hardware issue and decided to get out of everybody's way. But it's a shame to see that he's not with us tonight. But hopefully I'll see Jamie on Thursday night at V8 Veterans.
Yes, be good if he's there. Might just quickly jump on with War Boys, have a look and see how he's getting on. You can see definitely not the smiley happy self. Head down working hard here.
Yeah, definitely working hard, but he's made up about nearly half of the spots he lost, I think, so doing an epic job to fight back. He'd be a bit annoyed with himself getting a penalty and forced pit lane start, but like I said earlier, he's got the temperament and the skills to fight back, so and there's still a long way to go. Currently only on lap 9 of 62, so just starting lap 10, so got plenty of time to fight back and think about his strategy.
And a nice pass there. Moved himself past Matt Stewart. Heads down the road. Next target, Dave Kirby. And we'll jump back up to this Adam Briggs, Logan Barnett battle. Still nothing in this. Big shout out to Dave Baldock, he's in the chat tonight. Great to have Dave with us.
Yeah, good evening, Dave. Good to have you on board with us tonight.
And Dave saying I should have a driver camp for the driver's lounge. I don't know about that, Dave. You'll see all the empties that I usually have laying around. As Briggsy here doing really well, let's have a bit of a jump around. Have a look how some of these other battles are going on. Thomas Freeman's up 4 spots in 11th. He's battling away really well here with Delaney and Paul Young just in front of him. So Paul holding a spot here in the top 10. Really well. And jump a bit further back. Jamie Dykes up 9 spots into 16th. Good steady drive from Jamie. Wallboy's has got himself up to 21st, tucked up behind Dave Kirby now. Darren Shannon is up 2 spots in the 29th. Warren Davis is 30th. With the great Roy Clark under a lot of pressure holding off Nathan Brown. Now that would be a battle to watch. We might just jump on here for a minute. Watch Brownie round up Nathan, round up Roy. And quickly hit this button. And this is one mean, serious looking Nathan Brown. I think this place means something to him, I think. Got the game face on, absolute full focus.
He'd have to have his game face on to hang or try and make a move on Roy tonight. Roy's in fine form. Can see that look on Nathan's face. He's saying, I got him this time.
Oh, no, can't make it happen. Asperella getting into the action here as well. See the old commentators curse about the drop hit. You know, enough sitting on these boys. Probably should do the right thing. Jump back up the front. As that's Darren Shannon off in the weeds there, doing a bit of grass cutting.
Just goes to show you about John, like all the way back in 30th spot, they're still fighting just as hard as anybody else on track to make that next place. So it's tough battles all the way through.
That's right, and they just passed Dengate facing backwards there as well.
I thought I just noticed a WK&P car there. Not sure what happened to Harrison.
We might go back, have a quick look at that one. And then we better get back up on those boys up front. Let's go on. Yep, he's just spun himself coming into the S's. Nicely gets out of everyone's way. Just going to jump back up on Logan Barnett. He's still in this little battle here with Hobson and Briggs. Logan's managed to get past Hobbo, which is no mean feat in itself.
No, it just goes to show you the strength of Logan's drive tonight, because yeah, Brenton is not an easy person to get past. Just notice Cameron Jones has got past Christian Smart as well for 8th place. Thomas Freeman's past Paul Young to slip into the top 10 in 10.
Definitely some moves starting to happen now. I think the tyres will be starting to get a little bit older. The guys that have gone a bit too hard too early. Probably starting to feel the effects. And of course, this is an interesting battle here with Brenton Hobson being our championship leader, dropping back to 5th. Jordan Ross, the man that's sitting in 3rd in the championship, sitting in 3rd, still being consistent. And James Chastaneuf, the man that's 2nd in the championship, he's all the way back in 36th.
Yeah, James having a bit of bad luck tonight, popping that engine, but he's up and running again, and he's still got a long way to go. We've still got we've got about 50 laps, or no, 48 laps, so he's still got a fair bit of racing to do to make some places up.
Absolutely, still a long way to go. We haven't seen a safety car yet. And it's Dengate's in the pits.
Really impressed with Dylan Rudd up front tonight as well. He's really doing a fantastic job, and he's not letting James Scott get away at all.
Definitely an epic little battle going on up here. It's actually now started to get into the toe of James a bit more, that 0.3 gap. A little bit of lap traffic coming up for these guys as well, which is going to make it quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely some places on this track where you don't want to be behind lap traffic, because you can lose a bunch of time. So it'll be interesting to see which way the cards fall here.
Going to be very interesting, Dan. Jordan Ross is starting to latch onto the back of these two as well, so a little bit interesting. And of course, these three are about 6 seconds up the road from the other Logan Barnett battle, so we might just stay with this battle here for a minute, though. It comes up behind Matt McMillan. It's missing a bonnet there, so gets himself out of the way.
James's car showing plenty of straight line speed there because Dylan was quite close there, but really didn't make any inroads up the straight.
Definitely doing very well.
Either that or Dylan's trying to save some fuel and doing the smart thing and thinking about getting a jump on James in the pit stops maybe.
There's still a long way to go, and depending on what strategy they roll out, it's either a one stop or you might think of a tyre. Think of going in for two for tyres.
Yeah, I think looking at the boys' lap times, I'm sure they're thinking of one-stop strategies is going to be the way to go for them. They're able to run as much fuel as they want tonight. There's no fuel restrictions, so I'm sure the quickest way to finish this race would be with one stop.
That's right. But safety car can create any incident that will require a change of strategy. So as Ed Harris and Dengate have another incident. Let's have a look what's happened to H. Coming up through turn 5, a little bit loose on the crests, just off under the grass. Into the wall again. Not having a good night, young H. And does he get it going? Looks like he does. So
yeah, not the usual night we see from Harrison. He's usually quite strong and competitive. Not sure if he's driven this track before. It's a very tricky track to learn and get used to with being how bumpy it is.
And the blind elevation as well. The elevation changes with blind curbs and modulation of the throttle over corners like that there at turn 5. But she's a bloody nice track when you get it right, though.
Oh, absolutely, it's a really fun track to drive because the bumps and you know, the speed of the track combined, yeah, adds to a lot of fun. And, yeah, like I said, I think if Harrison hasn't driven much here before, it's quite a tricky track to learn and get used to.
As we go back, have a look at this Adam Briggs battle. So these boys here battling away still. Adam Briggs still tucked up behind Brenton Hobson, who's still tucked up behind Logan Barnett. These boys have dropped off now to 7 seconds behind the front three. So definitely turning into a battle of threes at the moment. Might just go back to Thomas Freeman, as he's now tucked himself up behind Christian Smart. So they're starting to close in a bit on there, on him.
Yeah, Thomas becoming a regular with us on a Tuesday night. He's a great driver, very competitive, loves to race, and yeah, doing a good job. He's fighting his way back through the field. He's currently up 5 spots, so doing a great job. But what about Jamie Dyke in 15th? He's up 10 spots at the moment.
Absolutely, he's got a bit between the teeth, chasing Chris Island at the moment. Jamie, of course, one of our Fishy Motorsport regular drivers. Having a cracking drive again. And a big shout out to all the Fishy fans out there. It's going to quickly jump up. Looks like Adam Briggs has just got past Hobbo.
Hobbo just gone into fuel saving mode, maybe. It's been a pretty intense battle, this one. These boys have been nose to tail like this for the last 19 laps, and there's been no paint or bodywork exchange so far, but they've all swapped positions, so there's some good, strong, clean racing going on here.
Absolutely. Been very entertaining to watch. Might just quickly jump back. Michael Whiting as well. He's putting a fair bit of pressure on teammate Blake Delaney in front of him.
I was just looking down through my timing monitor, and I could see Blake and Michael in 12th and 13th flying the flag for the Fishy boys, and just behind them we got Christopher Island, who was our driver of the week last week. He's in 14th spot. He's currently down 3 spots, Chris, so he'll be looking to try and fight back.
Oh, big dive from Adam Briggs. Gets it done. Hobbo having a bit of a sniff at, see if he can pick up anything coming out of that. What a pass from Adam Briggs.
Yeah, once he committed to that, Logan had to give him some space to preserve both of them, and yeah, good decisive move there from Adam.
Race control 007.
Yes.
007. Can you have a look at the corner coming onto the back straight? Down in front of me, he's not giving race room.
It's continuing on. We might just have a quick look at something that was just called in.
Copy that.
Bit of a tap there to Warren Davis from Luke Holland. A bit of an interesting one. And Darren Shannon also went off as well. Quickly have a look at that while we're here. He's just clipped the grass. Made sure it was nice and short. Let's go back to live pictures again. This battle is still going on. I'm just going to jump back at the front. That battle's really closed up now. Dylan Rudd is right up underneath James Scott's rear wing here.
Yeah, Dylan looking like he's really got the car set up to his liking this week, and looks like it's a really strong setup because James, as we've seen on previous weeks, he's had pace to burn, and tonight he hasn't got it all his own way, and Dylan really putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, absolutely cracking drive from Dylan here. It's going to jump back. Hobson and Barnett. That gap's closed right up again. And the other one is Jones and Smart. Christian's managed to get his way back past Cameron Jones, so.
Another shout out to Matty Mascord, who is kind of struggling to get to us every week with his work commitments, but he's out there again tonight. He's currently in 25th and he's up 12 spots, so doing a great job.
Absolutely doing really well, Matty. I believe he's a fellow Novocastrian, Mark.
He absolutely is, and yeah, I haven't seen Matty around a lot lately because I know he has been really busy with work and family commitments, but good to see him back in the sim and out there having some fun.
Gentleman driver. This little battle starting to fire up now. Thomas Freeman's starting to get into the argument here. This is the battle for 8, 9 and 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Just got my eyes on this battle as well. And yeah, these boys are running nose to tail. There's, like you said earlier, John, there's groups of 3, it seems like all over the track, and all of them are in intense battles. It's nose to tail, and it's not easy around here to sit this close to a car lap after lap.
No, definitely not. As we can see, Cameron Jones getting off the track here. He's let a couple of boys through. One of the Banter Alliance guys just coming out in front of Jamie Dyke. I think Jamie's going to get around him here to pick up another spot. That's his 11th now. So he's advancing his way back through the field quite well here.
Yeah, frustrating there for Cameron. He's dropped like 6 or 7 spots there in the blink of an eye, and yeah, it just goes to show you how tough the racing is. But he's on the back of Jamie Dyke, and he'll just have to fight his way back now.
Absolutely, not an easy gig to do. Just while we're talking about not easy gigs to do, just want to give a big shout out to one of our sponsors, West End Motor Group. That's the group behind Too Easy Finance, Parramatta Mazda, Parramatta Isuzu Utes, Parramatta Peugeot Professional Vans and Trucks, Parramatta City Haval and GWM, Blacktown Mazda and Blacktown City Haval GWM Motor Group. So if you're in the market for a car in the Sydney area, make sure you check all those guys out. Big supporters of the East Coast Series and big supporters of the general V8 community. So absolutely big shout out to West End Motor Group.
Yeah, we're really lucky in this series. We've got some fantastic sponsors, and West End Motor Group. Yeah, you can see the banner on the cars here. Great supporters of this series, but like you said, John, big supporters of the Australian V8 community on iRacing.
Absolutely, Logan Barnett's still under a fair bit of pressure from Hobbo. He's gone onto the grass, a little bit of a tap. Both of them survive. Hobbo gets around Logan Barnett. So as we're getting longer into this stint now, 24 laps down, I reckon tyres wear might be starting to come into play a little bit here on some of these sets. Being an open setup series, you definitely want to have good setup in terms of looking after your tyre wear in a long race like this one. Wants to go to the chopper on the Supercheap Auto replay. Have another look at that one. Logan just getting it on the grass, all 4 wheels, a little bit loose. Hobbo managed to get out of the way without contact. So, clean pass.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on iRacing who's driven a V8 around Road Atlanta hasn't done that. That is a signature move at some point in everybody's V8 career around here.
Yeah. That and turn one out through the weeds to the wall.
Yep, done them both many times.
Of course, I missed racing here on Thursday night because I was away. Thomas Freeman here, tucked right up behind Chris Smart. Coming down the hill. Got the outside line. Chris defending on the inside. This will be an interesting little battle. Chris goes a bit deeper. Great little battle between these two. Just to upset you, Mark, we gave Matty Mascord the commentator's curse.
That's irregular for us, so Matty won't be surprised if he watches the replay back.
A little bit loose coming over the hill in turn 7 on the side, almost put it on the roof. Looks like he's going to keep it going. So at least he hasn't turned it into a safety car. And let's jump back to this little battle here. So another big battle pack forming behind these guys. As well.
Like you said, John, we're now 25 laps in, so we're not that far away from half race distance, and yeah, the track temperature is currently sitting at 46. It's dropped a couple of degrees from qualifying, but still tough on the tyres around here.
Absolutely, and Dylan Rudd is now really working over James Scott. Getting right up underneath the rear wing coming down the back straight now. We might just sit on this camera as we go through the S's. Great little part of the track. Here's a little bit of curb, not too much. Turn 5 of the elevation change. You've got to be careful of the wheel spin coming across the rise there. Come through turn 6, back it off. Big camber on the corner, hook it in. Back it right off for 7. Got to control the acceleration. Don't want to rip the tyres up. Don't want to get too much wheel spin and lose control. Tuck back behind here. In the draft, starting to close that gap. Then we come down the hill here. Past the motel sign, heavy under brakes into turn 10A. You want to clip a little bit of the dirt there. Into 10B. Into 11 over the rise. Same again, you got to watch your acceleration. Come down, you're just balancing the throttle through the last corner. Trying to keep it off the grass as we come out, as we saw before. Then into turn 1 again, you got to back it off, just sweep it through. And then we come up here into turn 2, absolutely blind. Back it off straight away. Look for 3. Try not to take too much curb to unsettle it. And you hook it back in as we start coming down the hill through 4, into the S's. He's tucking it right in behind James here now. I reckon James Scott would know he's there.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure James is loving this battle because James loves racing and loves being tested, and he hasn't got to where he is without being tested many times. So I'm sure he's relishing this battle.
Sean McNamara pointing out there's a little bit of fuel saving going on as well with Dylan Rudd at the moment.
Yeah, we did mention that earlier, Sean. We figured that Dylan was happy to sit under the wing and just save what he can. Smart play here from Dylan, especially with the way the car's hooked up. He's obviously got it right in the window that he wants, and he's able to just drive with James without any problems.
And of course, during all this, we've got Jordan Ross tucked right up under the wing there of Dylan Rudd as well. So lovely little train happening here, a fuel saving behind James Scott.
Yeah, Jordan was 3/10 quicker than Dylan and nearly 5/10 quicker than James that lap. So good lap from Jordan, and he's right back in this battle.
Just another thing to note too in the background, Adam Briggs has taken 2 seconds out of these guys. He's closed that gap back down to 6.7 seconds.
Yeah, interesting. Once Adam was able to clear Brenton Hobson and Logan Barnett, he's showed that he's got really good pace, and if we get a safety car at any point in this race, he's going to be right back in this battle, and watch out for the front three.
And Chris Island getting past Blake Delaney here, coming up into 7.
Change of lead there. James Scott let Jordan Ross and Dylan Rudd pass there. I'm not sure if James had a slowdown, or I'm not sure what happened there, or a mischief.
It's on me, that one. I missed that. Let's just go back to the replay. Dylan's got in the draft coming down. I think it might have been a slowdown, I think, for that to be at the end of the straight. So, yeah, not sure what's happened to James. He's managed to hang on to the back of him still, so must have been a slowdown somewhere in there, Mark, I'd say.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. Look, he took his foot off the pedal, so which is, you know, not something you would normally do.
I'm just going to jump back to that battle pack with Jamie Dyke. Jamie, of course, is up 11 spots now in the 14th. These boys all battling quite hard here between Chris Island, Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting, Jamie Dyke, and then Cameron G. Jones at the back of this train. And then a second further back, we've got the group that contains Morris, Warboys, Schultz.
Yeah, Blake doing a great job fighting his way back after a pit lane start. But yeah, interesting. You got the three fishy boys all in a row there, battling very hard.
Yeah, the old sushi train doing really well. Boys starting to line up. Ben Morris in front of him now.
Yeah, Ben's not showing his usual pace this week. He's don't know if the warmer tracks caught him out a little bit, but Ben usually a little bit further forward than this, and he's in a tight battle now with Blake Warboys.
Yeah, Ben just peeled off to the pits on that one. And Chris Island here doing a cracking job here, just outside the top 10, holding on there. Jump back up to Thomas Freeman, who's still under a lot of pressure from Christian Smart. With Paul Young hanging on to the top 10 in the background there. So a few boys starting to peel off into the pits as well. Paul Warwick, another one of the pit lane starters, has just gone into the pits from P22.
Yeah, just coming up almost at half race distance now, so wouldn't be surprised to see quite a few starting to pit at this point.
The fishy boys all working quite hard here. And Hobson's the first of our leaders to go in. He's gone into the pits. Cameron G. Jones goes into the pits as well. They're starting to see a few roll out. Barella's gone in. I'll be interested to see if the undercut works here for a few of these guys.
The undercut will absolutely work. My interesting point is going to be who's going to be first to blink out of the front three, and whoever does is going to have an advantage unless they all go in together. Whoever pits first, I'm sure, is going to get a good undercut as long as they can get clean run on their outlap.
Interesting, these boys have pulled away a little bit from James Scott now as well. James will be struggling to hang on to the toe there. So still continuing on, no one's blinked yet. And Logan Barnett has gone in and Damien Johnstone has gone in, so they're covering off the Brenton Hobson stop. And Chris Island's gone in as well.
So most drivers looking to split the race in half, and that's where we're at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be interesting who gets the jump on who in the pit stops, who's been good at saving fuel, and who gets an undercut.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Watch the city with James and to see if Rudd or Ross go in on lap 32. Or does big fuel saving still going from James? And we all continue on. That kind of fuel saving from James Scott, definitely not splitting it in half. I think he's going to try and run a long tank here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was doing much fuel saving when he was out front, but he's probably trying to minimise the amount of fuel saving Dylan was able to do behind him. He's trying to gain some of that back at the moment by doing everything he can to coast wherever he can.
A little bit off the apex there. Sounds like his tyres might be struggling a little bit too. Just looking at the boys pull away from him there, as Briggs, Young, Whiting and Freeman are in the pits now as well. So the leader of our pit stops is Brenton Hobson. He pitted on lap 30. He's in 11th at the moment, jumped up to 10th. Of course, this format being a little bit different to what the boys are used to racing here at the moment. Like the last 3 weeks we've had sprint races. So to go from sprint race to a 250k race, big change up.
Yeah, big change in mental preparedness. You've got to be focused for a lot longer tonight. But these boys are used to this type of racing, and yeah, the boys, you know, especially these front three, they're very used to racing this hard for long periods of time. So no surprises that they're still well out in front, but they're coming up towards some lap traffic. So I'm going to guess we're going to see some pit stops soon from these three.
Yeah, we've got a few cars there that sort of caught themselves up to, I think it's about 18th or 19th. It's a 15th, so there's about 5 cars in front of them on the track here in this next pack. She's sort of Whiting, Jones, Young, Ireland, Roy Clark. We've got Smart, Delaney, Schultz and Stewart in the pits. Oh, James Scott, oh no! He's missed it all there, he's got it Holbury long. And he's off into the pits. That's very un-James Scott-like. Just missing, missing the apex there altogether.
Yeah, probably trying to carry the clutch a bit too long and just had a bit too much speed on, I would say. But yeah, good time to pit. You'll get a little bit of that back with the undercut.
James Chastaneef here, trying to fight his way back after that engine issue, chasing down Michael Angus in 19th. It's going to keep a little bit of an eye. Jamie Dyke, he's gone through for another lap as well. He's moved himself up into 3rd spot. Still has to do his stop. Hobson's now up into 6th. Warboys is in the pits as well. And it'll be interesting to see. Might just jump back up. Keep an eye on Rudd here as we head down to 10A, 10B.
Logan Barnett seemed to have dropped a few places here. I'm not sure what happened to Logan, but he's tucked up behind Jordan Ross at the moment, and yeah, he's lost out to Michael Whiting, Blake Delaney, Cameron Jones, Paul Young, Chris Island. So yeah, I'm not sure where it went wrong there for Logan.
There we go. Rudd and Ross respond to James Scott. It's James Scott's come out behind Brenton Hobson, so the undercut definitely paying off there for Hobbo. So the $1 million question is now is where does Rudd and Ross roll out? Bearing in mind Hobson's got the jump on Scott. Briggs is tucked up behind Scott now.
That's a massive undercut, isn't it?
It is.
I'm surprised to see Hobbo got that much of a jump, but anyway, interesting time ahead for these two boys in the pit lane at the moment.
Absolutely. Still up on the jacks as well for those guys. And it's Dylan Rudd still sitting there, waiting to see if we're going to get going. He's off the jacks.
Gordon's been able to jump in there.
Yeah. It's come back out. Matty Muscood. A little bit in the way there, gets himself out of the way, but Jamie Dyke is our race leader. Jordan Ross has taken the jump on Dylan Rudd, but the gap back to Brenton Hobson is only 2.5 seconds. So based on that, Hobbo's picked up probably about I'd say 6 seconds with that undercut.
Yeah, we might be able, the boys might be able to extend that a little bit with fresh tyres at the moment, and not less than half a tank of fuel compared to what they started with. So yeah, I expect these boys out front to probably open up a little bit. James would be quite frustrated, James Scott, losing out to Brenton Hobson there in the pit stops.
Yeah. Agreeing with Steve Murray too, who was saying he reckons his tyres were shot when he came off the off there at turn 10. So yeah, James Scott about 3 seconds back on these boys. He's in a little bit of a battle pack with Hobson and Briggs behind. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all pans out now as we come around the corner with Jamie Dyke in the pits. So now Jordan Ross takes over our race lead.
Yeah, we didn't speak about Jordan and how much fuel he was probably able to save behind James Scott and Dylan Rudd. And you could see he'd obviously saved just enough to get off the jacks before Dylan. And yeah, he's able to snatch the lead. So, but he's under all sorts of pressure here.
Yeah, it's tucked up behind Roy Clark, trying to get past some lap traffic. The other car stopped. Safety car, that's the call. We have a safety car. That's going to change the game.
That's definitely a break James Scott was looking for.
Safety car boards and flag.
So I'd say, and that's a disqualification for Ash Barella as he's just towed. Interesting one, he's towed without permission, so that's a DSQ to car 334. Of course, with such a long fuel system here, you're probably no real point ducking in for another set of tyres.
No point now. They've managed to get through that first half of the race on one set, so you know, unless you're pitted super early, you know, you might consider it, but all you'd be looking to if you were mid-pack or further back now is getting back in line. Boys will be making laps, drop laps up, so definitely something to consider depending on your championship standing and where you are in the mid-pack at the moment.
Absolutely, and the big winner of the safety car will be, of course, James Chastaneuf. In the pits at the moment, last pitted on lap 5, so he's managed to get himself a little bit further down the track, so I'd say Chasty's the big winner here.
Yeah, Chasty deserves a bit of luck tonight. He unfortunately popped an engine and was had to limp back home, but he's in pit lane at the moment. He'll get his lap back if he was a lap down, and he'll get back on the back of the train. He'll be able to make some places up towards the end of the race.
Absolutely, and we might take advantage of the safety car just to throw in a quick ad.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Of course, big thank you to Supercheap Auto, our major sponsor for the league. Greatly appreciate their support. And of course, also appreciate DC Shades, who sponsor our safety car as well. So while we go around a lap, we might quickly take the opportunity to have a quick chat to Nathan Brown. Nato, mate, how's it going?
Oh, we've had better evenings.
You've had better evenings?
Yeah, it's a when you're using the race as the practice for your race, you tend to make a few mistakes for yourself. That's for sure.
So where's Roy Clark, mate? That's the goal. How's that battle going?
Well, I was ahead for a bit, and then he was ahead, and then he was ahead, and then he was ahead,
Yeah.
and then I haven't seen him since.
So he's still ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to assume he's ahead.
Just to give you the heads up, he's in the pits at the moment on an outlap, sitting in 28th.
Ooh.
So
Oh, that means he's only 4 spots ahead of me then, technically.
also means he's probably now got fresh tyres and the
Oh,
rest of it.
but then only going to be a safety car lap fresher, basically, because I pitted right before that safety car came out, purely by coincidence, because I tried to go as long as I possibly could, which was a bad idea.
How's the boss man beside you going, mate?
He's doing not too bad. He's sort of recovering. He had a packet loss issue at the start of the evening, which was got to throw him for 6, so he had to start from pit lane, so that was the issue there.
Yes.
But no, overall he's doing pretty good. I think he's come back quite well. Pace is good. He's trying to help us sort of as well at the same time get our cars a little bit settled too. So he seems to be all over it as per usual.
Yeah, noticed he was a bit cranky, and the webcams dropped out. So
Yeah, we're not sure what's happened there.
yeah,
I think that yeah,
H.
don't know.
Anyway, we're going to get rid of you, mate. Safety car's about to go again.
Too easy. Good luck, lads,
Yeah,
and
you
I'll
too.
catch us on the flip side.
Yep.
Thanks, Nathan. Have a good drive, mate.
Thanks, Phil.
Get back on Jordan Ross for a minute. And I've probably just missed anything that happened in the safety car, but that's all right. He's always up for a chat, Nath, and we'll bring in the cause of the safety car. Of course, the safety car came out because of Asparella. He's been DSQ'd tonight for escaping without permission as well. How are we, Ash?
Oh, yeah, not too bad.
About to go green here, mate. This has been an epic battle up front.
Yeah, it's been good. It'll be good to watch now that I'm out of the race.
It's about to go green here. Jordan's backing him right up to the last corner. It'll be interesting for the boys concertining up the back here. He's away.
Yeah, big advantage for the teammates of Jordan there, knowing when he's going to jump.
As looks like James Scott up the inside of Dylan Rudd here. Gets the job done side by side, still coming up into turn 4. And gets the job done. So what can Dylan Rudd do now? And Brenton Hobson now tucked up behind Rudd.
Yeah, Jordan able to get a great jump there, and yeah, he was able to let James know when he was going, I think, and James was all ready for it.
Of course, the other big one there at the start too was Warboys getting past Dyke as well.
So Bloke been able to sneak into the top 15 now, and we've still got 22 laps to go, so I'm sure he can almost fight his way to the top 10 there if he's got a good car underneath him.
That'd be great recovery. And what was the story with H? Ash?
Technical issue. TV kept losing power.
That'll do it.
So 1 minute he was driving and next minute he had nothing. Couldn't see where he was going and yeah, carnage.
That's the bugger. Equipment failure.
Yep. And I had a pedal failure.
Pedal failure. There you go.
So had to tow without permission, obviously, at the flattest ground. Otherwise, I would have kept rolling back onto the track. So can only do what you can do, I suppose. But anyway.
34th. Nathan Brown's had another off. And so is Luke Holland. I might just have a quick look at the Supercheap Auto replay just before everything gets going here to see what's happened between these two. So Luke Holland has just decided to go cut some grass out there at turn 1. And Nathan Brown has decided to cut someone else. So it's all right. All happening at that part of the track.
Yeah, it looked like Nathan Brown got a hit by Ben Morris, I think. Probably deserved it.
Bloody Nath involved in everything tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, deserved it, I reckon. I reckon he's rubbed him up the wrong way somewhere.
Yep.
He's just getting even.
As Briggsy tucked in under Hobbo here. It's James Scott just sets the purple lap for the 1:19.86. So he's 0.3 faster than Jordan Ross in the last lap.
Great control up.
So some good driving here.
Here, Warren Davis on the lower there to race control again, so not sure what happened to Warren, but
Yeah, it's about to
happy.
go to that. I think it's Roy Clark and Warren Davis.
Oh, the teammates
Matty
and the bosses
Mascoud.
watch.
Oh, Matty Mascoud's in that as well. That goes a bit further back. It's going to go back.
Looks like a little bit of net code between them.
Matty Mascoud and Warren Davis, then another tap, and then decide to take out Roy Clark as well.
Great control.
That's like getting a strike in bowling, that.
It's before the double right hander on lap 41.
Hi, Dave Baldock.
And turn 1, lap 42.
So a few penalties being called in as well. We'll just try and keep abreast of what's going on up the front here a little bit. These boys are still all fairly close, these front three, Ross, Scott and Rudd. Poor old Dylan getting caught out under the restart a little bit there. But Jordan Ross doing a fantastic job.
Go ahead, 21.
The race controller from the V8 Vets split one, showing a clean set of heels.
Back straight.
Yeah, Jordan doing a great job. He did a great job saving fuel in that first stint, and now finds himself in the lead. Yeah, poor old Dylan, he didn't do anything wrong on the start. He just kind of had a bit of gang up against him, but still holding his own, and there's still a long way to go. So he can still get to that top step of the podium.
He's still potential there. As Adam Briggs now starting to put Brenton Hobson under all sorts of pressure. Of course, big shout out to all the Hobbo's fans over on Twitch, on his Twitch stream. Very popular stream. Quite a few followers.
A loss to Matt Stewart.
Well, is that sorry?
A packet loss to Matt Stewart.
Oh no.
That's a shame. Matt's had a good, strong start to the series this season. Shame to see him drop like that. Hopefully he can get back in. Just thinking about how strong Synergy Sim Racing team is. They've got 6 of the top 7 drivers at the moment. So just a phenomenal team, and you see them in every form of, or every series of VA racing, and they're always at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. They're very organised, very switched on. They all work very well together. It's a very unique bunch. I think there's something like 60 drivers in the whole team, I believe. So that's, well, we've got quite a few of them in this series, but it's a good mix of old heads and young heads. And they're all very passionate about their motorsport.
James Scott with a move down the inside of Jordan Ross. Jordan's just, I think, done the team thing to save a bit of fuel for the next half a dozen laps, I think.
James Scott has been flying though the last couple of laps, so now he's got a free run at it. Probably going to show a bit of heels here, I reckon.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit frustrating now for Dylan, but we did see at the towards the end of James's first stint that he did struggle with tyres, so and Dylan's car seemed to be good all the way through his stint.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to see whether we see a repeat of that as in the closing stages of this race. Might just jump back. Logan Barnett was someone we talked about a fair bit earlier. Logan now is sitting back in 12th, just behind Paul Young, with Blake Warboys behind him. So this is quite a large battle pack we've got here, sort of running from 9th to 16th.
Ben Morris was black flagged on an incident with 86.
Yeah. I would have given it to Brownie, to be honest, but
Yeah, I reckon they've looked after him there.
yep. War Boys as well in this battle pack here, starting to get himself up a bit more. Might jump up on the Damien Johnstone. He's under pressure from Thomas Freeman. Thomas Freeman under all sorts of pressure from Christian Smart. So winding up, I think, with a race end, Mark, where we don't know where to look again, I think.
Yeah, especially that safety car has like bunched the pack up, and now big battles everywhere. Michael Whiting coming out off the last turn with a big slide on the grass.
Where are we? We might even go to a replay to that one, Mark. And Michael definitely a little bit off the apex, gets the grass, all four wheels. Nicely drags it back in though. If that was you, Ash, you would have been facing backwards in the wall at that stage.
Yep, definitely.
Some great skill there from Michael Whiting. Showing all of his experience. And then still tucked up behind War Boys in this battle pack. Might just jump down. Big shout out to DC Shades, of course, with Dave Coleman. Dave doing a cracking job here, tucked up behind Brady Baldwin, in front of his teammate Troy Maguire. And Paul Young is about to get passed by War Boys. War Boys on the inside, a little bit of a tap. Keeps it fairly clean. War Boys off into the grass a little bit, loses a couple of spots.
Pretty heavy defensive work there from Paul Young.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't think Blake would have appreciated that.
Rubbings racing. Continue on in. Just jump up, check on that front pack again. Of course, James Scott's starting to clear his heels a little bit here, which is what we thought he would do. And Jordan now still under that pressure from Dylan Rudd. Briggsy's only now 1.3 seconds off these guys. And he's under pressure from Brenton Hobson, so...
Sure, Dylan's feeling a little bit frustrated here at the moment. He can't get around Jordan, and he can see Adam Briggs starting to come up behind him. So he's been in this SSR train all night, and he just can't find his way out of it at the moment.
He's had a bit of a rough luck run with that. It's James Scott. It's right on board with him here.
Dylan's showing his quality with for the 9.5 Simp Sport team. He's done an epic job tonight, and he hasn't let these boys go all night. And yeah, he's just got to try and find his way past Jordan if he can.
Definitely working hard at it. Just finish this lap off here with Jordan. Just listening in. Definitely no need to fuel save after the safety car. They're starting to pull out a little bit here. Jordan Ross not quite getting that toe now that it's out to 0.8 seconds. Dylan Rudd, though, still tucked up in the toe behind Jordan Ross. So that'll be an interesting battle to see how that podium pans out. Just a great tracker here. The engine react to the change over the rise. Jump back here, have a look at Dylan Rudd again.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun around this track when the car's unloaded in so many places, and a very high speed track, and it is a good fun track to drive.
Absolutely it is. It's going to jump back to Blake Delaney. This is where there's tight little battle pack still forming. Warboys has managed to get himself back up on to the back of this. All having a good hard look here, Blake is at Delaney. Of course, Blake, our season 1 champion of the East Coast Series. Or Shervo Jones in the chat asking for race control to give Roy Clark a penalty for filing frivolous protests. Blake.
Nothing like the team sport.
Boys looking up the inside here, not quite. Can he get it done under brakes? Up the inside, nicely done. As now we start lining up with Paul Young again, the next one in front of Warboys. We're just going to jump back up. Chris Smart still battling away with Cameron G. Jones behind him. Cameron's done well to get himself back up into the battle here into the top 10. Logan Barnett's tucked up behind these boys as well.
Yeah, Cameron and Logan doing a good job after suffering some mishap just after the pit stops. But yeah, Cameron's going to have his handful because we've seen how quick Logan's been tonight.
Yeah, absolutely having a blinder. He's going to go back up. Jordan Ross still under pressure from Dylan Rudd, so no change up the front. James Scott hasn't walked away like I thought he would. That gap's still stayed under a second, so some great pace being showed from Jordan Ross and Dylan Rudd here. Michael Whiting just lost a couple of spots, so I'm not sure what happened there. Chris Smart just lost a spot to Barnett, but we'll just stay here for a minute. Warboys absolutely smoking it behind Paul Young, who was hard to pass a lap or two ago, but gets it done into turn 1 this time. Great little pass there from Warboys. Now has Whiting, Dyke, Smart and Barnett in front of him to make that top 10. So with 12 laps to go, we'll see where Warboys ends up. With Chris Smart running in 11th here. So
Yeah, been a tough night at the office for Blake, but he's fought back well. He's come from pretty much the back of the pack tonight after starting from pit lane, and yeah, he's currently sitting in 14th spot, so that's a great job.
Yep, doing really well. And it's going to jump up on Jordan. Dylan's tucked up right behind him now, so I'm probably going to expect Dylan Rudd here to have a crack at Jordan, I think, in the next lap or two, if he wants to have a crack at James before the end. Definitely showing some good paces, Dylan Rudd, tonight.
Yeah, the SSR cars just seem so strong in a straight line, and yeah, Dylan just can't quite get close enough. So Jordan's still be sitting behind James Scott. He'll still be picking up a bit of a toe from James, so making it even harder for Dylan. Surprised Adam Briggs and Brenton Hobson haven't been able to close this gap down a little bit, but they're still probably sitting about the same spot they were when Jordan and James changed spots. So Adam not quite been able to get on the back of him.
As it's just see Dylan in not quite getting much of a slipstream. It's closing now slowly. Only picked up 0.05 of a second in the slipstream that time by. So James Scott or Jordan Ross just hanging on to the back of that slipstream of James Scott's probably what's saving him from Dylan Rudd here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure the SSR boys will be thinking about maybe backing them up and trying to get Adam Briggs on the podium as well. So it's going to be interesting on final 10 laps, John.
Will be. Still 2.6 seconds back to Briggs. Just going to jump back to that other battle pack with Cameron G. Jones. He's now caught himself back up on behind Chris Island. Logan Barnett's still tucked in there. So is Chris Smart. And then we're then a further 3.5 seconds back to Jamie Dyke. So that other battle pack with all the Fishy boys and War boys. All still fighting away pretty hard here. This War boys has managed to get himself past Delaney and Paul Young. And now caught up to the big fish, Michael Whiting. So definitely an epic drive from Blake coming from all that way back. And it's going to jump on, go down the back straight away here. Thought Dylan was about to close in. He's closed it down 0.1 of a second between last lap. So he's definitely closing it in. Cameron G. Jones now coming down the back. Is he going to have a look at Ireland? No, he's not. And War Boys having a look at Michael Whiting. All happening here at turn 10. Side by side again. Last time War Boys did that move, he was in the weeds. Still side by side. Still side by side. This is epic driving from both these boys.
Great drive. This is great driving, John.
A lot of respect shown by both of them here. And the boys behind queuing up. Oh, Blake gets loose. Allows Delaney through. Great little battle going here between these four. Just going to jump back up on Dylan Rudd as we're going down the back straight here. See if he can close the gap up this time. Not quite going to get it done. Jordan Ross tucked right up behind James Scott now, so definitely getting no advantage of the toe for Dylan Rudd, unfortunately.
Yeah, wondering if we're just starting to see James start to suffer with tyre wear again, like the first stint.
Yeah, that could be the issue. Could be the story unfolding. We haven't done it for a few weeks, Mark. I'm going to hit the big finish button.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. I mean, it's going to be hard for anyone to get past James at the moment, but anything's possible, and we've still got 7 laps to run. But I'm going to say James Scott's going to take this one out.
Yep. Oh, I think the battle's going to be for P2 and who finishes P2 here, I think. There's Dylan definitely fighting hard here, tucked up behind this time. Can he get good drive out of this corner? It's all about getting that better drive than the guy in front of you.
And what a great drive from Jordan Ross as well. He's been on song all night tonight, and he's been right in this battle. So yeah, congrats to Jordan. It's been a great drive from him. Yeah,
an awesome drive. So might just quickly, we're all safe through here, jump to this other pack it down a bit further. These guys all look like they're spaced evenly enough here. No one's going to go a big dive.
Chris Island again, he's another driver who's done a great job. He's currently sitting in 8th spot, and Chris got our driver of the round last round, and he's doing another great job tonight inside the top 10.
Yeah, definitely a lot of good drives tonight. It's going to be hard to make that decision. So definitely see how we go. These boys definitely all bunched up again. Jump to the back here. Boys going down the back straight again. Matty McMillan, a little bit of lap traffic in the way. Dylan's tucked up a bit more this time behind Jordan, but it's probably not enough to have a look, I don't think. It's epic pace by these guys. Oh, big look here. Jones and Ireland, very, very tight. And a bit of a move in the background between Barnett and Smart as well. So definitely starting to see some guys now trying to put some big moves in as we're getting down to the last 6 laps. As Barnett gets Smart, and 2 battling there, going back up the front again. It's still not a hell of a lot in it, but Dylan just not getting enough drive, I think, coming out of that last corner that he'd probably like. Get a bit of a jump on these boys.
Yeah, Dylan was well on the grass under acceleration there, so he lost a little bit of ground, but he was able to make it up by the end of the straight. But he's just not, he hasn't got the straight line speed, especially with Jordan Ross getting the toe off James at the moment. So he's going to find it really difficult unless Jordan makes a mistake.
Absolutely, and of course last lap by Scott with a 1:21.02, and then Jordan Ross was a 1:29.4 and Dylan Rudd was a 1:21.02, so not much in it between these top 3 guys. Of course Briggs was a 1:21.03, but still 3.5 seconds down the road is Adam Briggs.
Yeah, the boys out front have actually been able to put a few more 100s into Adam, so Adam's not making any ground at the moment. He's going to find it difficult with only 4.5 laps to go.
Definitely making it look a bit difficult. Tom Freo highlighting that J. Ross is in the red paint tonight, looking pretty smart. Michael Whiting off in the weeds. And continuing on here, all nicely tightly bunched up. What? Just have a look what happened to Michael Whiting. He was in a bit of an incident with James Chastaneuf. Bit of a tap there, not sure who's at fault. But off into the weeds is Whiting, into the fence. Just jump back up on Dylan Rudd. He's now this time tucked right up behind James Scott. There we go. The 9.5 Sim Sports driver Dylan Rudd here, not quite going to be able to get it in, but Jordan Ross tucking in behind James Scott a fair bit there as well. As Dave Coleman gets a drive-through penalty. Contact with car 7 on lap 56. Incident with Brady Baldwin.
Yeah, it's a shame for Dave Coleman. He was up 18 spots, but he's going to drop a lot of them right now with a drive-through penalty this late in the race.
Another big one to mention too, up 16 spots is Matty Mascord.
Yeah, Matty's done an epic job tonight. He's battled away hard. He's currently he's sitting in 21st spot and up 16 spots.
Doing really well. There's these boys here, 2.5 laps to go now. Lap traffic this time, this will make it a little bit more interesting coming down into turn 10. Roy Clark getting himself out of the way, smart move.
Yeah, good driving there from Roy, letting the front three continue their battle with just coming up with 2 laps to go.
Might just quickly jump on to this Chris Smart battle, as looks like Smarty's going to get the inside line here coming into 10. Barnett's not giving an inch either. We're going to go too wide through here. Great driving through turn 10, come up through 11. Looping down into the last corner. I did try to fix that camera last night. And Smarty, oh, still too wide. Looks like Smart's going to give there though. And Thomas Freeman still battling quite hard with Damien Johnstone as well. So still quite a few epic battles in the top 10 here still, but they're starting to spread out a little bit. And we just jump back up with Jordan Ross as we go down the back straight for the penultimate time. Got a feeling just won't be able to break that toe. I think James Scott's carrying Jordan Ross around here.
James Chastanet, rotten luck continues. He's just been given a drive-through penalty.
Oh no, that's not
There will
good.
be further contact with Michael Whiting.
That's not a good one. Oh, Ross, few wheels on the grass there. Slowed him down a little bit. It's a loud Rudd. This is the white flag lap. This is a loud Rudd to tuck right in behind now. Yeah, I gotta agree with you there too, Peter. I thought James would have pulled away as well. So can Dylan Rudd get a good exit out of the corner this time? He's tucked right up behind. I don't think he's going to get the exit he wants. Let's see. No, we've got Jordan Ross closing in on James Scott. I don't think Dylan Rudd's going to get full maximum use of the toe here. A little bit too far back, I think, for the big send. What an epic drive from these three, though. This has been bloody impressive.
Yeah, it's been a great battle all night with these three. There's been nothing in it, and good teamwork there from the Synergy Sim Racing team. They worked well together at the beginning of that restart, and yeah, Dylan did everything he could tonight. He didn't do a single thing wrong. He just couldn't get past the duo of James Scott and Jordan Ross in the end.
Oh, Damien Johnstone going cross country there at the end. And it's Cam Island home in 8th, Jones in 10th. Christian Smart's going to round out our top 10. Warboys looks like he might have just, Delaney might have just snuck past Warboys there at the finish. So that was some epic racing, Mark.
Yeah, it was a good night's racing. We expected that from Road Atlanta. It always turns it on here, and that big long straight keeps boys in touch with each other. And yeah, there was some hard racing all the way through the field. We, like we said earlier, even back in 30th place, they're still racing door to door, lap after lap, and yeah, it was a tough night for everyone, but some good racing for our viewers.
Well, we've still got to make that big call on drive of the day.
My drive of the day is going to go to Jamie Dyke. I think he's really fought back through his qualifying position, and he was up 14 spots in the end, just outside the top 10. He had a lot of hard drivers to pass, and he done a great job getting to where he did.
He did a really good job in that sense. Might just go back, have a look at that incident again between Chastaneef and Michael Whiting. So yeah, not much in that. A little bit unlucky with that one. Craig Schultz had an off as well near towards the end. We'll go back and have a look at that one. Just a standard brake lock up into turn 10. Wouldn't be Supercheap Auto without Nathan Brown having another off. Nice grass cutting there. And Brady Baldwin.
Sure, Nathan does it deliberately to get on camera.
Absolutely. So yeah, a few incidents in there around the long way home, but all in all, it's been a great drive from James Scott tonight. I think the Synergy Sim Racing boys would have to be all very happy with how it's all gone with everything else. Of course, big shout out to the boys in the YouTube chat and in Facebook that have been watching along tonight as well. Thanks for all the input and comments we've gotten from you guys like Pete and Macca and Stephen Murray and co. So, and Shervo Jones, of course. I always feel honoured when Shervo Jones is in the room, just like Roy Clark's in the waiting room for race control.
With his lawyer.
With his lawyer, yep. And we might start off, we might bring in our race winner, James Scott. James, how you going, mate? That's a cracking drive, that one. You're under a fair bit of pressure there for a long time tonight.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, it was very tough. The draft was very powerful, so obviously being in the lead wasn't ideal for that whole first stint. I knew the guys behind were saving a fair bit, and then having to push so hard in the lead, you chew up your tyres a bit as well, so that's sort of what happened to me in the first stint. The car was pretty average tonight, and it wasn't our best at all, so to come away with a 1-2, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, you should be pretty happy with that. So in that tyres went away in that first stint a fair bit on you?
Yeah. Just being in the front, having to drive every lap, really on the limit, and I'd done basically no laps before tonight, so I wasn't expecting much, and I got some new equipment as well, so trying to get used to that at the same time, so it made it a bit more challenging, but nevertheless, as I said, come away with the 1-2, can't be too unhappy about that.
The positive as well, you'd have to be happy with your start tonight.
Yeah, I got an absolute ripper, so noticed I gapped the field by a fair bit, so just have to keep that up for the rest of the races.
That's good. That's good. We might have a quick chat to the man in second, the man, the myth, the legend, Jordan Ross. How are you, JR?
Good, John. What's happening?
Just spent a couple hour and a half watching a good mate of mine come second.
Mate, that's all I had. Those two boys are too far. And just after the race, I was like talking to James, and I was about to just pull over on the side of the road, and Dylan was beside me, and I just full T-boned him after the race. He must have thought I was angry or something. Sorry, mate. Total mistake.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to save you the heartache tonight, James, because no, you can't get in trouble if JR does all the shout-outs.
Yeah, that's it. But that time we did some work, so I can give him a shot.
I'll shout out to James, who's going to shout out sponsors.
Well, we'll have to give J. Ross's company, Wave Runner Performance, out of the first shout out. If anyone wants a jet ski or services, go to him, he'll sort you out. And obviously Smith & Sons, West End Mazda, Too Easy Finance, JK Signs, Aussies Mechanical, and all the guys at SSR.
Bit of a pro, isn't he?
All the help.
Yeah, he's getting all ticked off now. He's starting to get the list down pat. And we'll have a quick chat now to our third place man, who I reckon drove bloody well tonight. Was really impressive to see him take it up to his boys up the front. Dylan Rudd, well done, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was a cracking drive. We thought there for a little while that you might have got the wool over Jordan there towards the end. You just had cracking pace all night, which was awesome to see.
Yeah, started off with a cheeky restart, so James got by me on that one. And then just in the finals, couldn't quite get the drive onto the straight to make a pass. Had a lock up in end of the straight with 3 or 4 to go, and then it was kind of over from there, I think. But it was good battle. Bit of fuel saving in the first stint, but
Yep.
it was a good race.
Good to see, mate. And I'll give you a big chance to give a shout out to your sponsors as well.
Just like to thank all the guys in 95 Sim Sport. Our sponsors, Racecraft Simulations, Turn In Race Apparel, RSW Graphics, Racing Ears Custom Ear Protection, Cutting Edge Tracks, and RB Media.
It's fantastic. And the other man we got in the room with us as well is, of course, the driver that was nominated Driver of the Day, and that is Jamie Dyke. Well done, Jamie.
Thanks, mate.
That was a epic battle, that one. You definitely fought pretty hard all day to get up 14 spots.
Yeah, I didn't get any practice for tonight's race. I've been catching up on work, and jumped in quali. Didn't have the right quali set. Didn't feel good in the car. Race set wasn't much better, and then probably halfway through the race, I tweaked the setup a little bit, and it just came alive.
It's good, mate. It was really good to see you. Would have been nice to see you crack the top 10, but you've, like I said, you didn't do much, but you had a pretty rough day on Sunday on the mountain, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, the mountain's the mountain. When it bites, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Obviously, I'd like to thank our sponsors. If I can find them. Here we are. Infinity Designs, Precision Sim Training, DC Shades, Relax Marine and Game Fishing, Journal Images, West End Motor Group, and Battery Warehouse, and all the boys in the team. Well done tonight, and let's push on.
Absolutely. And of course, we're going to push on next week, and I really feel sorry for you guys after doing a few laps of practice for vets last night. You got a 300k race at Indy Road.
No, it should be interesting, shouldn't it?
It's going to be very interesting. So looking forward to watching that one next week. And on that note, we might wrap it up here and be back next week. And big thank you to my co-host, Mark Duggan, of course. Big thank you to all the drivers, our sponsors, West End Motor Group, Cool Guys, Barella Cabinets, Supercheap Auto, of course, and DC Shades. Definitely look forward to, definitely a big shout out to all the guys in the chat that have been keeping us company all night. And look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Cheers, John. Thanks, boys. Been a good night's racing. Yeah, look forward to Indianapolis.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name.
Shutters are a great option for a window treatment in that they're more practical than, for example, a roller blind in most cases, because it's not just open or closed. You do have the benefit of being able to close them for your privacy and also open them to allow light and air.
For a homeowner who's trying to get educated on what plantation shutters are right for them, the 4 things that I think are the most important are: 1, what material it's made out of; 2, the quality of whichever material you choose; 3, the paint finish; and then 4, the construction quality of the actual shutter itself.
High Profile is a solid timber product for a start. A lot of our competitors use a composite or what they call a laminated style or a laminated louver.
Timber is very inherent with distortion and bowing, so we engineer the product, we finger joint the product to get maximum yield from the material, plus also to reduce the distortion.
Probably one of the main differences with our product is it's actually a solid wood.
You can rely on the fact that what you're buying is not a veneer and it will not fall apart.
We then coat the material in a polyurethane top coat.
The benefit of the polyurethane is it's quite flexible and it looks great and it's very long lasting. So the product has the benefit of light control and privacy.
Whenever you're looking at your timber shutters, you want something that has been made from scratch and then finished as a whole unit will give you the best quality finish for the product as a whole.